Hello and welcome to Join the Journey, the talk show that explains the stories of Journey Found, a nonprofit organization serving adults with intellectual disabilities in North Central and Southeastern Connecticut. And we believe the best way for you to learn about what we do is through meeting the people that are part of Journey Found. And with me today is Sharon Alaconis, Director of Support Services, and Mike Robinson, who lives with us at John Olds. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
And Sharon, I think I'd like to start today's discussion with you. And you've been with us in total of 20 years.
Correct.
And that's been quite the journey for you, I'm sure. What has kept you at Journey Found for 20 years?
The individuals that we serve. It is just amazing to see them grow and live their lives, happy lives, see them develop through the years. I've been with them, like you said, for 20 years. I've seen them grow into, wonderful people. It's been great to see them go to the ocean for the first time, or go into the movies, or go into Six Flags, or Big E for the first time.
Well, you're a Big E guru. Every year you organize the trip to the Big E. You know about how many folks went this year?
I believe all of our programs went except for three programs.
So about 70 folks went?
Yep, 70 people. Yep.
Great, great. Any particular or fondest memories over the 20 years? I know there's got to be lots, so it's hard to pick one or two, but...
Numerous. But I think the funnest memory that I can recall is taking two of our individuals on a cruise. And later, in both of the individuals, Ron and Viola, had a fabulous time. Loved all the food on the cruises, loved stopping at the different islands and stuff. Once I got back, I realized that one of the individuals was not too fond of water.
Wow.
But she did wonderful.
Oh, wow.
She did wonderful.
Wow.
So that was a lot of fun. And making those wonderful vacations with our individuals are a lot of fun.
Right, exactly. And, goes along with, our mission of helping people to be all that they are capable of being and helping them live fulfilling lives and of their own choosing. And so you said island, so was this a Caribbean cruise?
Yes, it was.
So,
yes,
wow.
It was the Royal Caribbean. And to be honest, it was so long ago, I did forget what islands we stopped
Right.
at, but we stopped at 3 different islands. We had a great time, and they had a great time, along with everything to do on the cruise ship, the pools on the boat. There was casinos on it. There was night clubs that we went and danced, and they just had a fabulous time. And I can guarantee you that neither one of them had ever done that before.
Right. Now, as director, one of the things you get to participate as is what we refer to as new development, or helping take on new programs or create new programming. And you were part of us actually transitioning and taking on Mike's program.
I was, yes.
And to do that. And Mike, one of the reasons that I wanted you to be on today was you're one of the people that has participated and been part of the whole what's come to be known as the public to private conversion movement. And for our viewers, what has gone on is that the state of Connecticut is looking to get out of the business of delivering direct supports to people, and has been transitioning some of their programs and group homes and services to the private sector and to private agencies. And Mike, you had been living in a public home.
Yes, for several years. Several years, and I might add that when the change was announced by people reading different types of literature to me, there were 6 pages that everybody that was on the committee had to read and learn about each private individual. Now, in that meeting, none of the information was to leave the room that we were meeting at.
Right.
So as a result, everything had to be hush-hush and only be discussed in the room, which made a lot of sense. We were somewhat skeptical as to why we didn't want this to happen. We wanted it to happen, but we wanted to keep our same staff that we had. We've had
Sure.
staff for 17 years, 25 years, 36 years. That's a long time.
Right,
Yeah.
right, and change is very, very hard, for sure. And one of the things that the state did that made a whole lot of sense, and is also how Journey Found likes to handle things, was they involved you in the selection process of the private provider.
Yes, they did.
And so, and you were part of a panel that interviewed us, you reviewed our proposal, and talked about it. So what was it about our proposal, knowing that this was, a scary kind of thing, what was it about Journey Found that intrigued you?
It's just everything about the proposal that I've heard and that was read to me. And I really can't put it all into words, Trace, but there was a lot that, for me, that was involved. That, like, I'm going to like this particular group of people and to be with. And I must say that from the homes that have been taken over by other private providers as well, everyone's doing very well from who I've talked to. The first thought, you think of behaviorals, how people are going to adjust after all these years. I think everybody for now has adjusted well, and we're talking a year being into this.
Right, absolutely. And Sharon, you can kick in a little bit on this too. You really were a big help to us in transitioning and taking on your program. And Mike lives in an apartment with two other gentlemen, and there's an apartment right next door where 3 people also live. So it's apartment living, but they're licensed by the state, and we really try to run it like one big happy family over there. But Sharon, talk a little bit about Mike and how he helped with that process.
Oh, Mike was a great help. He had been living with the gentleman for so many years. He knew them very well. We all almost used him as a staff person to get to know each individual, what their likes were, what their dislikes were, and just their whole routine, because that was one of our biggest focuses, is not to mess up their routine. When they got up to go to work, and when they got back, and what they did when they got home, Mike helped us keep that routine for everybody, and really taught all the staff about the individuals living there, which was a huge help for everybody. And I think it made the transition a lot easier. And I know, like Michael said, it helped with any kind of difficulties they might have had.
Right. And talk a little bit about, because I sense you like playing that role in the house.
I do. I mean, I'm a people's person. I like being around people. The people that do know me are aware of that. But any new staff that we get, I go through the same thing, and I try to explain to a lot about them as to each individual, what their likes, dislikes are. And I'm just a people's person.
Yep. Well, and one thing that I noticed, because part of the process when we took on the program was that Mark, our chief of operations, and I went over and visited all of you and saw the apartments, even prior to putting together the proposal. And one of the things that really struck me was that you came out, you welcomed us, you were listening to a show and working a little bit on your keyboard, so you want to go back to your room, and one of your housemates had followed you, and you knew right away that he was there, and you just very politely asked him to leave your room. So you knew without being able to see him who it was, where he was, and doing that. It was Ricky. He had followed you in, and you just very politely, politely said, "Okay, please go back to your own room now."
Well, naturally you're in a situation where you don't want to be rude to anybody, and that's all what I did. I was just trying to, I can't talk to you now, buddy. Can I talk to you later, type of thing.
Yep.
So therefore, when you get to know people, in fact, this individual and I have known each other almost 40 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're talking a long period of time. Yeah. Others I've known as well, but Rick and I have known each other for a number of years, and I think with everybody else, I've gotten to know more of his dislikes and likes as well.
Right.
The others I've learned about, but then again, you don't want to do it so you're stepping on staff's toes or anything, if I can word it that way.
Sure.
But then again, you want to be, okay, can I talk to you later, type of thing. Right. And you want to be not yelling, but you want to be somewhat polite and kind of choose the right mannerism to go about. asking them politely.
Right. Well, and I would never want you to feel you're stepping on staff's toes because you know those folks far better than we do, even after a year. And we really should be taking your lead. And I would hope that Sharon and the staff are doing that.
Oh, they are.
Great. Now I know there were some pleasant surprises for you in when with Journey Found taking over the public program, in that you've been able to do a lot of things that you hadn't been able to do so
That is correct.
so far. And do you want to talk a little bit about that? As a matter of fact, you just took a great brief trip.
I can gladly be glad to mention that, Tracy. My thing is Broadway music, and I like music, whether it be piano playing, this type of thing. But I love Broadway shows. So with the help of Journey Found and our staff, I was able to go to New York City to attend the show Hello Dolly. Me and another person and a staff person. We took a limo into the city, stopped and had dinner at there was a cheesecake factory outside of Brooklyn, or anyway, it's not far. It wasn't far from the actual place where the show was held. So there was very little walking that we had to do.
Nice, nice. And I think there's some other trips that you'd like to do in the future that you've been thinking about.
Yeah. Well, baseball season is over now, but one of my things as far as the springtime, I'd love to go out to Fenway Park, being a Red Sox fan for many years, and meet the two of the radio voices, Joe Castiglione and Tim Neverett.
Well, that would be great.
It would.
That would be great. And you have family.
I do.
That you had talked about wanting to visit?
I do. In fact, I visit my sister when I'm not busy. When I'm not busy, I visit my sister as much as I can. She's in Scotland, Connecticut. I have two nephews that are in one of them lives with his girlfriend in Ellington.
Yeah.
Then I have a brother in Florida. I had two brothers, but one of them passed on. So we have another brother in Florida, and then my other nephew lives in the Willimantic area.
Right. Well, and I know you've mentioned you would like to get down to Florida at some point
Yes,
to visit that.
that is correct. That is correct.
And hopefully, in the not too distant future, we can help make
Yes,
make
indeed.
that a reality. Particularly if we get a state budget by that time. One of the other things too is you have some additional talents. You like to play the keyboard, and do you want to talk about playing your keyboard a little bit?
Sure. Years ago, I wanted to take piano lessons. I started it, but then again, I was in a band, so the band took up a lot of time for me to continue my lessons. The band finally disbanded back in 2003, 4, maybe 5 or 6, and our director just simply didn't want to do it anymore. And he called. We were at the Big E, and he called me and he's like, Mike, I can't continue the band. Of course, his vehicle needed a lot of work, but then again, our drummer and I knew that he just didn't want to do it anymore.
Right.
So, but it was fun. But then again, I'm like, here's my time to go back to piano lessons.
Sure.
So I brought it up to one of the previous staff that we had, and I got involved. She got me involved with a place in Manchester, a music studio called Summit Studio.
Okay, nice.
And therefore, they have great teachers. They can teach you anything, whether it be piano, violin, or this type of thing. But they're great. So I've been there for the past several years, maybe 5, 6, maybe 7.
Nice.
Lost track, but I enjoy it.
Great. And you actually you and our CFO Steve played Christmas carols for us.
We did that last year. It was fun.
The holiday party. Yeah.
It was fun. We did. It was fun.
And Sharon, another one of your claim to fame is you and one of our program coordinators run all of the games at all of our parties, all of our picnics, get all of that up and running. And
I participated in those too, during a picnic.
Those are big hits.
Yes.
Big hits.
Big hits. And in addition to everything that you do at Home at Journey Found, you work for a sister agency of ours. You work at Mark.
Yes, I do. Yep.
Incorporated, and you work in their office.
Yes.
And what if you had to, say, would be sort of the one thing you would want people to know about us, Mike? If people said, what's one great thing you could say about Journey Found?
Always very caring, very helpful. We ask if they could do things to take it to the store, or we want to do something. there's never a no or any hesitation. They like helping us as we get to know them more and more. It's, even though it's been a year and hopefully many, many more to come, the relationship I find is really, really, really a very good one.
So, great. Sharon, what about you? If you were going to encourage people and why people should volunteer at Journey Found or donate to Journey Found or come work at Journey Found, what would be some of the things that you would say should draw people to us?
Probably the caringness for our employees. We do these things like the holiday parties and staff parties and the annual picnic for staff and for our individuals. And from you down. You care about the people that you employ. We listen to them. There's always an open door policy, and it's just a very caring environment.
Right.
And everybody's voice counts.
Right. Mike, you have something to add?
May I just add to that as
Sure.
well, Trace? The parties that I've attended as far with Journey Found, everybody has a nice time. Neither is there a look of why am I here type of thing. Do I have to be here? Everybody comes and they have a great time, and it's so good to talk to the many people that are in other homes that I myself don't talk to on a daily basis. So for me, that's the most enjoyable thing about the parties.
Right. Well, and I would like to hope that that means that we're successful in caring about people and not just caring for people, which is
Absolutely.
very much what we want to do. Just one more thing that I want to mention: if people want to donate or contribute to Journey Found in any way, you can look us up on the web at www.journeyfound.org, or you can call the office at 860-643-9844. You're going to have a wonderful opportunity. The Tuesday after Thanksgiving is Giving Tuesday, and we will be having an appeal going on at that time. But we're always open to hearing from you if you want to volunteer, if you want to donate, because all of your efforts and generosity could help contribute to Mike and the staff that support him. Thank you so much for joining us today.